Have you ever found yourself driving to visit a narcissist? Not because you wanted to, but because you felt guilty if you didn't. Maybe it's your mother, your father, a grandparent, or another family member, and somewhere inside there's a voice saying they're old now, they might not have much time left. I'll regret it if I don't go. But here's the question I want you to think about. Why is it that the people who spend years making you feel guilty are often the very same people you're still feeling guilty about today? That isn't a coincidence. It's conditioning, because guilt has often been one of the most powerful tools they've ever used to keep you close. One of the biggest lies we're told is that getting older automatically makes people softer, kinder, and more understanding. The reality is that growing old doesn't erase decades of manipulation, and it certainly doesn't create empathy when there wasn't any before. In fact, after speaking to thousands of survivors over the years, I've noticed something quite different. Many narcissists actually become more difficult as they age. As they begin losing things they once relied on, whether that's their career, their status, their looks, their independence, or the control they used to have over people, they often become more demanding, more bitter, and even more entitled. The mask they've spent years wearing simply becomes too exhausting to keep holding up. That's why so many people tell me they leave those visits feeling exactly the same as they did 20 or 30 years ago. They don't leave feeling loved. They leave feeling drained, anxious, and emotionally exhausted, almost like they've become the frightened child again, even though they're now adults with families of their own. Now, if anything in this video resonates with you, I'd love you to join my private community. It's called Survive and Thrive. It's a place filled with people who truly understand what it's like to heal after narcissistic abuse. It's completely private, and it's also somewhere you can message me directly if you'd ever like to chat. I'm going to leave the link in the description below, and I would love to see you there. Another thing I hear all the time is, but they're still my mum or still my dad, as though being related to someone somehow gives them unlimited access to you and to your peace or your whole life. But biology isn't the same as trust, and sharing DNA with someone doesn't mean you're required to keep accepting behavior that damages your mental health. You are allowed to love someone from a distance. You're allowed to wish them well, hope they find peace, and even feel sadness for the life they've lived without continuing to place yourself in situations that leave you hurt every single time. Compassion doesn't require self-sacrifice, and protecting yourself doesn't make you a bad son or daughter or a bad person. One question people often ask me is, but what if they die? They worry they'll carry guilt forever if they don't keep showing up, and even when every visit leaves them feeling emotionally broken. And my answer usually surprises them, because if someone reaches the end of their life without ever taking responsibility for the pain they've caused, that isn't your unfinished business, it's theirs. You are not responsible for giving someone closure they never ever tried to give you. You're not responsible for pretending the abuse didn't happen simply because they've grown older. And you're certainly not responsible for sacrificing your peace just to make other people feel a little bit more comfortable. Age explains wrinkles, but it will never explain cruelty. So if you've been carrying the weight of obligation instead of love, I want you to hear this. You're allowed to protect your peace. You're allowed to say no. And you're allowed to choose distance over guilt, because one of the greatest moments in healing isn't learning how to keep difficult people comfortable. It's finally giving yourself permission to feel safe. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, take care.